Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Season 1, Episode 3. We visit the Gnome Emporium. I am so excited for this episode. I loved the first two. They were an absolute delight. They felt so true to the books, the characters, Percy in particular, because he's the one we saw the most of, just felt so true to Percy in the books, and I'm so ready. I actually got the Trials of Apollo set for Christmas, so yeah, really excited to jump back into this show. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. To see an oracle.
Hi, I'm Percy.
We'll choose two to join you on this quest and ensure that we succeed.
Annabeth.
Questmate shall be Annabeth Chase.
It's your time, my love.
Now on to the other candidates.
Who could he pick? Not someone stood here, that's for sure.
Shall be betrayed by the one who calls you friend.
Oof.
And fail.
I think they're Canadian, maybe?
You idiot.
Or from Chuck E. Cheese, I don't know.
Very thoughtful, Luke. You're a good
These are-
friend.
I'm afraid if it gets in the way of the quest, Annabeth might try to. And you told me you'll always be on her side no matter what, and
It's okay.
He's so
Really,
sweet, Percy.
I get it.
the most powerful being in the universe's best idea to save his daughter's life
Yes.
was to turn her into a tree?
She was the bravest demigod I ever knew. She fought valiantly, and she met a hero's fate.
She met a pinecone's fate.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Forbidden children.
I mean, I get why what he said was kind of insensitive, but he's not wrong that Zeus could have done a lot more than just turn her into a tree. He wanted to help.
Please, can you help your friend?
I really don't want to be a tiebreaker. I have a better idea. Oh golly, the road's getting bumpy cause I got me some friends who just can't get along singing this
Dude,
song.
what are you doing?
I'm here to collect your friend.
Collect them. For what?
No, I don't question orders. Bring him in quick and quiet. That's what I was told.
No, thank you.
Lure him off this bus.
Let's go!
Yes, it's not. Gotta keep moving, my loves.
We're done here. Let's go.
To get help?
We don't need help. We're
You're
fine.
on a quest, Percy Madara
We're
one.
If we call camp, we're basically saying it was a mistake to choose us.
I'm completely comfortable with that. Everyone makes
Percy.
mistakes.
Why are you so afraid of who you are?
What?
Because he's found out like 24 hours ago.
You know what's interesting?
At least let's call your mom.
Excuse me?
Athena?
It's not
Your
how
mother?
it works. It should be.
I'd call my father, but you can't ask her. Can you?
None
When was the
of
last time she talked to you?
Grover.
Grover, I'm not kidding.
No, neither am I. Just shush.
Let's just finish our conversation before we go sniffing strange things. This is a great place to go to. Definitely no red flags here. What could this be?
Come on.
I'm so excited for this.
Not on my doorstep.
She's scared.
Oh, shoot.
Percy, don't look.
If you have something to resolve, but it isn't as though she'll leave either. Not if it means reporting that she failed to retrieve the son of Poseidon.
Hello, Medusa.
It's a pleasure to meet you, son of Poseidon. I'm Medusa.
Valid reason to hate Poseidon.
My mom used to tell me her story. And the point was always that she isn't what people think. And I definitely trust my mom.
Bless him. But also your father. Think about your father's part in her story, sweetheart. I don't know what version her mother told her, but it was never a good part. And her mother, their parents, are the ones that she's going to hate the most.
You're concerned I would hold a grudge against you simply because you are a daughter of Athena? Shouldn't be. We're not our parents after all. And you
She'd
and I might have
hold a
more in
grudge
common than you
against
think.
Poseidon more than you'd think. As well.
Please.
It wasn't a gift. It was a curse.
You are loyal to
In this version,
Yes.
was she willing with
You
Poseidon
stand by
then?
her,
Of course I do.
and so did I. So did I.
Gods are not
Do you know the
perfect.
story of how I came? Your father. You see, God told me that he loved me.
Was it willing in this
So he
version?
saw me in a way I had never
Okay, it's a
felt
little
seen
better than the rape
before.
version.
But then I'd be punished. Not him,
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't what happened. My mother is just. Always.
The gods want you to
Annabeth,
believe
my
that,
love.
that they are infallible.
It's not black
But
and
they only
white.
want what all bullies want. Would you give me a hand in the kitchen? I think lunch is ready.
I mean, I think we should leave. I don't think she's as evil as she could be, but I also don't trust her. Especially the two gods these children are were not the people that
Grover
you...
is going to betray you. Sooner or later, people like her, they always do.
That's
I don't
playing
think
on a
she's like
fear of
that.
Then
his.
you will be an easy mark for your mother and I. We're like sisters in a way, targeted by the same monster. So I find myself feeling protective of you.
My mom never talked about my
I
dad
love
that
this in-depth look at the gods from a
Is she
different
now?
angle and a different perspective.
Your mother,
A very modern perspective.
is she safe? Trust your friends to help you to make her safe. Will they let you make her
But I also
safe?
think
if it
Medusa
conflicts
is
with their quest?
pulling on all of his insecurities.
I could.
Yeah. Didn't think the hat was going to stay on for long. But I like the discussion of the gods and like what they're actually like. And how they aren't perfect. Medusa started out as a victim, it doesn't mean she stayed that way.
You two have chosen.
As have you, Medusa.
Daughter of a self-righteous mother, who chose
You're not wrong about the gods.
for herself, shown your father what it means to stand up for someone you love. You could choose to save your mother.
He will
instead of
always
doing
stand
your
up for
father's
those he
bidding.
loves. But he won't
Neither
betray
of you
others in
will
the
teach these
process.
lessons. Stand up.
I love you,
Let's have a
Percy.
look at you.
That's my team.
Make sure it's pointing in the right direction before you take my hat off.
Good tip.
She's trusting him. They worked well together.
My hands are...
They did it. They worked as a team. Uncle Ferdinand.
Just please stop.
Oh, I'm concerned. What are you actually doing on this quest, and why do I have to hear about this from Medusa?
Okay.
I forgot
well,
Annabeth didn't know that
you
side of it.
accepted my offer? What's that about you?
It's the only thing she's ever possessed that connects them. That ought to matter to you.
Okay, but how are we gonna make sure this thing is safe?
I'm not up to that yet.
This
And
is
you,
why we love you, Grover.
really? His mom's alive. And the fate of the only person who's ever cared
We
about
love
him.
Grover.
Why are you talking?
You've been fighting with her. You've been fighting with me.
Because the Oracle said one of you would betray me. Okay?
I said a friend, my darling.
You shall be betrayed
Yeah.
by one who calls you a friend. Because I couldn't imagine we'd ever be friends. And I chose you
Thanks.
because I thought if I can count on anyone to be on my side, no matter what, it was you. And now I'm feeling so alone.
Oh,
I don't
you're
know
all
what to
very
do,
young
who
for
to
this,
trust.
even 24-year-old Grover.
What'd you say?
It cut her head off.
I cut off her head.
Start of a beautiful friendship. I mean, continuation of a
Choose to
beautiful
be
friendship.
demigods. And if we can't do that, we might as well just head back to camp right now. Because we won't make it.
Look at you go, Grover.
Some of it goes to Olympus.
Percy, you can't ship Medusa's head to Olympus.
Oh, yes, he can.
Why not?
Because the gods won't like it?
At all.
They will see this as impertinent.
I am impertinent.
Yes, but we're not.
Really cool dangers involved here that cannot be gonna sing the song, aren't you?
Oh, golly. The road's getting
Whatever.
bumpy. Contentious.
Hello, Hermes. That was such a fun episode. I've been really looking forward to Medusa coming into this, partly because that's part of the books I really liked. I like Medusa's story. I mean, I don't like it. It's not a very likable story, but you know what I mean. Outside of Percy Jackson, it's a story I find very interesting. And Jessica Parker Kennedy. That's her name, right? I'm literally doubting myself. I really like her as an actress, so I was looking forward to it, all of it. Rainfolk, I'm immediately like, is that even her name? But no, I really like her as an actress. And it didn't disappoint. I loved this episode. I will start talking about the Medusa stuff. I like that we had more. It wasn't kind of just a, oh no, bad monster, run, hide, kill. We actually had a real discussion with her. Like they got to know her. They heard her grievances. And like, yes, I do not think she was quite as, oh, I was just a victim and now you're being mean and I have to stop you because I'm like, I don't think that was like true. But I like that they didn't try to just make Medusa a monster. They acknowledged that there is nuance in her story. The gods are not at their best in the story of Medusa. And from a modern standpoint, if you read the story, I mean, I personally don't think there is a version where it wasn't rape that's realistic, but even with the kind of kid-friendly version of like, she just fell for Poseidon because he seduced her, that's not her fault. It's not like, but it's another situation where the gods can't be angry at each other, they can't act out at each other, so they act out at the victim. There are versions of, people try to tell versions of Medusa's story where Athena did it to save her from any other men hurting her again. But I like that. It's like, it's nice, but I don't think it's very, like the version, I mean, again, none of it, you know what I mean, it's not very realistic. The version that I think is probably the truest to what happened is the rape and then the punishment, which is brutal and awful, but I loved seeing them actually discuss a version of this story and how it wasn't perfect and wonderful. And I think there's something that this show has been doing a really good job of, is not hiding away from the fact that the gods aren't perfect. And by all means, that is a feature in the book. There's a thing in the books that the gods aren't perfect. And it is something that Percy realizes more and more as the series goes on, is that, you know, the gods need to be held to account to an extent, or at least their gods, you know, they aren't perfect and wonderful, and just because they're powerful doesn't mean that we should all just accept what they say and do what they want, to a degree. And the show is already having that discussion. Definitely as well, it's already having the discussion about how these gods neglect their children. They're not present in their lives, and how Percy is kind of, like, I don't think he was being cruel when he was saying to Annabeth, oh, we'll just call your mum because, you know, you must, you know, she's given you the hat and you must have a great relationship with her, because it's absolutely impossible for him to imagine a parent, particularly a mother, given how close he is to his mother, not being there for their child, not supporting them. And he must view, well, Luke has a gift of the shoes, Annabeth has a gift of the hat. They are in contact with their parents, when it's just not the case. It is not the kind of relationship where you could say, hey, mum, I need something, or mum, I'd like to talk to you, mum, I'm scared. It's the kind of relationship where if your mum deigns to acknowledge you exist, she will come up and she will show up. Percy is very new to this, and he's like, Annabeth needs to remember, is Percy's been in like a couple days at most. Like he is very new to this whole demigod business. He is very new to all of it being anything other than a story. He's not going to understand how things work. Now, slight spoiler for the books is that Annabeth doesn't have the best relationship with her dad either, so she kind of doesn't really have that parental figure. Believing in Athena and all that she is, believing in Camp Half-Blood and everything, is what she has. And that's her real family, and so she needs to believe Athena is good and it's all worth something, and that the reason Athena isn't around or isn't like present that much is because she's busy and she's doing amazing things and she's good. It's not because she's not great. And you know, it's a complicated situation. Percy's quest and hearing that what a friend will betray him and he'll fail to save that which matters most doesn't sound very good, does it? And yes, he's immediately like picking people he trusts and somebody that he thinks, well, we're not friends and I don't think we'll be friends. I don't, and again, I think when he said that out loud, he realised how mean it sounded. He didn't mean it in that sense that Annabeth's horrible and I hate her. I just thought that she's so competitive, so hyper, like the quest, that he didn't really think she'd sit around and make friends with him. So I did enjoy the fact that they formed it. They did the consensus song, but they found a pattern. They found a rhythm, I think, by the end of this with their relationship. Annabeth and Percy are, they get how the other one works a little bit more. They are able to both work together in stressful situations, and they do that beautifully, as we knew they would. But they've also figured out a pattern of, okay, so that's who you are, and that's where you're coming from. Okay, like I get you a bit more now. And obviously we know that they're going to become extremely close, but it is really lovely to see the beginnings of that working out, as they kind of see what the other one's all about, really. The quest has already gone off to a great start. You know, we were on a bus. The bus didn't go too great. Ran into Medusa like you do. Just such a lovely episode, such a well done episode. There are lots of things that book readers are like, ooh. And then there are, I hope, lots of things that if you're not a book reader, you're just having a really fun time, because that is, I think, the biggest thing for me with the Percy Jackson books, which I basically read as an adult, is that they are fun. Now, they have a lot of heart, they make you cry, they have a lot of deep emotional stuff. I'm not trying to say that isn't in them, but they are just an adventure that just sweeps you away with these endearing characters. And yeah, then out of nowhere you get Sucker Punch. Like, it is not, I'm not saying that there isn't pain in these books, but they're just such a delight, and the show's really captured that, and it's captured Percy to a T. The more we get to know Annabeth, the more I'm like, there's my girl, there she is. And Grover's just Grovering away, being amazing. I love them. I love them. Very excited for next week's episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.